He's headed this way after all.
Told you. Let him come. I don't know what the hell you're doing here, Stalker. But you got here just in the nick of time. The question is, can we trust you?
Do you trust Richter? He's the one who sent me here. He said you could help me find Nestor.
Ha! You just might be our ace in the hole. We've got a certain interest in the basement under the factory. And we found one of Nestor's hideouts there, too. He's got quite an archive. And my gut tells me there's some clues down there about his current whereabouts. But we've got a problem. The ward. They've sealed off every exit from the factory and jammed all our communications. And they did it while my men were inside. We could really use a good man who can make short work of a problem like this.
What do you want Nestor for?
We don't really need the old man himself. But he's like a magpie. He steals anything that isn't nailed down. And I'd love to see whatever he's got from the lab under the factory. Documents, specimens, you name it.
You're way too disciplined for a bunch of loners. Who are you?
You're a sharp one, huh? We're S.T.A.L.K.E.R. We used to help scientists unravel the mysteries of the zone. But now the whole zone is in serious danger. And we're standing against that danger. The ward.
Why don't you rescue your men on your own? Am I really that special?
Well, I can name one advantage. You don't really know us. Worst case scenario, you won't tell the wardens too much. And they're experts at loosening people's tongues. Trust me.
I'll see what I can do to help your people.
You don't need to go in guns blazing. The building is large and dilapidated. There are plenty of ways to get past the patrols and security checkpoints. The last time my squad made contact was in the basement. The place you're looking for is down there too. I'll send you the lab access codes. They might come in handy. Hold on. Here, take my gun. If we end up in a firefight, the zone likes it quiet. That's what we say.
Well. The detention center sent word that a stalker is coming to help. So I'm gonna treat you as a friend. For now.
Who am I talking to?
I'd rather introduce myself some other time. Your death is part of my plans. I suggest you come to me. Up the stairs. I sent you the code to the door.
Give me a hand. Bring that shit over here. Go on. Turn it on. Easy. We've got an infinite amount of time ahead.
Open up, asshole!
He doesn't give a damn about mankind or the zone, even though the ward is already becoming a part of it. Oh, don't tell him that, though. The news would crash that poor bastard. You should drop by the sawmill, Skiff. You've already seen one side of the zone. It's about time you saw the other. You won't regret it, I promise.
A good man is always on time for lunch.
Who said I'm a good man?
Richter, and the guys from the detention center. And me, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Don't worry, this time you won't have to lift anything heavier than a bottle.
What happened at the factory?
They say, you've got to use whatever's close at hand. And there are plenty of things close at hand in the zone. If you know where to look. Like a scanner.
I'm gonna check the surroundings.
I was told it was invented at the Institute.
Who told you that? Darlin? Nah, kiddo. All their gadgets are just revamped Project X designs. They were found in the old labs.
Project what?
The zone harbors many secrets scattered among the old bones. There were scientists here way before the Institute, even before the zone itself came into being.
Ah, so they're the ones that left us the goodies that we give to the ward. Take a seat.
You, don't like the ward?
The ward have no desire to conquer the zone. They want to extend the Institute up to its borders.
They want to turn the zone into a testing ground to meet mankind's insatiable needs. Darlin says it's all for the greater good of the mainland, but what does that really mean? It's perfect as is. People come to the zone to witness miracles.
One of your miracles wrecked my home.
Uh-huh. Things just got interesting. So you've seen an anomaly outside the zone.
That's why I'm here. Someone's gotta pay.
Oh, shit's gonna go down at the Institute. I've heard the rumors, but never firsthand. And I've got a funny feeling there's more trouble to come.
As long as Circuit keeps going, none of this is gonna end well. For any of us.
What do you want to achieve?
Zombie!
Relax. This is the dark side of the zone. But there is another. The shining side. It's here all around us, but we cannot see it. I wonder what's out there. Eternal spring? The Klondike of artifacts? A new home? Or our hearts, desires? But most importantly, no ward. We want the Shining Zone to reveal itself. For now, as far as we're concerned... Oh, shit. You're just a good guy. That's all I'm going to say. Or rather, I think that's all you are ready to hear. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Would you like some toast? I get it. You're angry. That's why you're not hungry. And couldn't care less about the troubles of others.
Can I help?
The Circa facility stands on top of an old lab. It used to be locked shut, but the ward has managed to break it open. That's when the troubles on the mainland began.
We need to figure out what they're up to there. But the PDAs taken from the dead wardens are pretty useless.
I can get inside once I have my scanner back. I've already found something.
Really? What is it?
An early model. Looks like monolith tech. Where'd you get it?
One of my attackers had it on him.
Sounds like Strider is in trouble. You must head over to Wild Island. Normally they don't let loners in, but we'll figure something out. All right. You're looking for Strider, the leader of Noontide. They've used PDAs like this one in the past. They're not exactly welcoming to outsiders, and for a reason. But I've got an idea. I've got a guy inside Noontide. His brothers were supposed to deliver an important shipment to their Wild Island base, but they've gone missing. He'll send you the coordinates to the spot where they made contact last time. Find that cargo, and it'll be your ticket in. Sure. Noontide isn't going anywhere. But you better hurry, just in case.
You mentioned the Shining Zone. Do you really think it exists?
Belief is a complicated thing, and I'm a simple man. I don't believe it. I know it. I heard about it from a man who's been walking the zone for longer than any of us. He's seen the Shining Zone with his very own eyes. I'm talking about Strelok.
Strelok? You mean that Strelok?
The one and only. He went to the center of the zone, and that's where he saw it. The other zone. The real one. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to share any details about it. But we're not picky. When you don't have a map, directions will do.
Why did the zombies just walk right past you?
Maybe we're the zombies. Always restless. Always longing for something. Our bellies never full. Ha! I'll teach you that trick if we end up hitting it off. I'm not saying goodbye.
This is Star from Spark. Come to Ism Rudeness, Skiff. Good people can always help each other. But hurry. The zone doesn't much care for slowpokes. Unlike the Ward.
Good to see you, Skiff. I should have moved my camp a long time ago. We're sitting ducks out here in the open. But there's some folks out here I just can't say no to. Besides, it feels good to lend a hand to someone the Ward doesn't like. Means we got a lot in common.
Who are those, folks you just can't say no to?
You've met him before. Scar's got a mind of his own. But if he's asking you for something, it's not wise to refuse him.
That sounds like a threat.
If you don't trust a man, why follow him? And if you don't want to help him, why should he lead you? If you want folks to trust you, you have to trust someone else first. Otherwise, we'll all stay alone, bereft of purpose or meaning.
I think you had different people with you the last time we met.
Spark is more than a bunch of stalker groups. Scar believes that everybody needs to work with everyone else, get to know them, and learn to rely on each other.
Do you agree with that?
Scar knows what he's doing.
You said you could help me.
Scar says you're looking for a traitor among the Wardens. I think they'd very much like to find him themselves. Maybe they already have. In order to make sure, though, we have to hack into their radio frequencies. And that means we need their sensors.
So, where do I find these sensors?
We already have them, and it's all thanks to you. Richter gave us your little present from the Lesser Zone. You did the right thing, Skiff. Trust me on that. Now, let's see what those dogs are barking about.
All patrols, you are to detain Lieutenant S.T.A.L.K.E.R at once. Do not negotiate with him. If you encounter resistance, to kill. Alpha Team, you're cleared to enter the Claw. Bravo Team, get to the vent. The Lieutenant might... Monolith tech.
Huh. Music to my ears. Well, Stalker, if the Ward is going after one of their own, and there's monolith tech involved, this S.T.A.L.K.E.R fella might be the one you're looking for. I take it you want to find the traitor before the Wardens do. Good hunting.
Thanks. I'll get going.
The Zone always sides with those who tread softly. One more thing. Spark pays generously for the heads of those Warden curs. If you eliminate all their patrols, we'll appreciate it.
Skiff, come in. If you're heading to Circa, stop by the ranger station. We need to talk to you.
We?
Scar and I, we have news. It's very important. I see a loner. He's got some kind of weird device on his back. That loner's a little on the weird side himself. Come on in, Skiff. We've been waiting for you.
You know what makes a stalker a stalker? Curiosity. I told you he'd come.
You told me a lot, and left out even more. Thank you for coming, Skiff.
I didn't expect to see you two here. You're working together?
Scar is always eager to help, but he never tells me why.
Why spoil a good surprise?
What did you want to talk about?
I found out that the Ward moved the Wish Granter from the CNPP to Circa.
The monolith.
That toy is way too dangerous, even for Dallin. Especially for Dallin. The Zone itself could suffer for it. And then the dark would eclipse whatever light still remains here.
I've seen Faust. You mentioned the Wish Granter as well before he disappeared.
So he's in on it too. The past will never let us go, will it?
The Strider wants to know what Faust is up to. I want to get to the bottom of the whole scanner business. But what's in it for you?
See, Strider doesn't trust me either. But like I told you before, I just like helping people. The Zone represents the delicate balance between the dark and the light in all of us. The monolith disrupted that balance once, and it will do so again. Besides, anything that hurts the Ward is fine by me. We all do what needs to be done, and we risk our lives for what we believe in. That's the only way, Skiff. Otherwise, we're no better than zombies.
Do you think Faust is planning something that involves Circa?
If you put 2 and 2 together, you'll probably get 4, even in the Zone.
If the monolith really is at Circa, like Scar says, then Faust is doing all of this for one reason. To get inside the Institute.
Dallin is hell-bent on making a scientific breakthrough, by any means necessary. If the Wish Granter is activated again...
No. I won't allow that to happen.
Can you remind me again what the wish granter is?
An atrocity.
It's a device that was used to protect the center of the zone. They had it installed inside the CNPP sarcophagus. It drew stalkers to it with the promise of granting wishes.
The wish granter, or monolith, drove people insane. Those who survived the ordeal were brainwashed and became monolithians.
I've always wondered, Strider, what did you wish for when you got there?
So what do you want from me?
I see you found what you were looking for, and you're going to find even more. In the darkest part of the zone, built from the brightest of intentions.
The scanner is your chance to get into S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Then, you'll be able to find out if that damn machine is really there. I'll get my squad together and head for the Institute. We need your help, Skiff. Noontide... No. The entire zone is in danger.
Sometimes good people make bad choices. I trust you to make the right one.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R. We've got wardens here. A lot of them.
Kroshunov knows what he's doing, I'll give him that. Would you welcome our guests, Skip? Strider and I need some time to get off the stage. Skiff will lend them a hand. He's a good man. And if not, my men will soldiers. There you are, my good man.
I've got what you've asked for. It's amazing this lamp is still intact.
Okay. Business first, I get it.
I've seen what this piece of shit is capable of.
The ward is about to attack Uruk-Hai. Their best men are going to be there. This piece of shit would be very helpful in thinning out their ranks.
So we're back to the same old bloodthirsty plan, huh?
Ah, that's how the zone works. Some people have to suffer, so other people can stop suffering.
You knew all along, you son of a bitch.
Tell me, do you actually have some place to go back to? Or have you found what you were looking for?
Too many words, too few answers.
Man. A long time ago, I woke up in the scientist's mobile lab at Liaisons station. They were good men. They fed me and took care of me, all while huddled together in a cramped little iron box. I wanted to help them, to find them a better place to live. During one of my trips, I stumbled upon the chemical plant. Yes, sure. Another brick monstrosity, but back then, it was like an oasis to me. So those good men moved there. It was the first Spark group. We kept to ourselves, minded our own business, even during the new faction war. Until one day, bam, 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 Topol, he was the first to die. Mace tried to warn us. Over here! But all he could do was wheeze. Spirit and I tried to escape through the workshop, and then the second assault squad burst in. Boom! But Snake had a grenade ready for them. Thieves rule and wardens rule. Boom! And now tell me, who holds the chemical plant now?
The ward.
Yes, the ward. I've kept away from any ruins ever since, except for the ruins of the Institute. Sure, you can take my bloodthirsty plan as paying off a debt. But this war isn't just my war. Yes, you. Him. You came to the zone looking for justice too, didn't you?
What's the point of all the sacrifice, Scar? All these victims.
What's the point? We're all to stand upon the sea. Through death, through darkness thus. I choose the nets that swallow me. This mortal coil failed us. Do what must be done, and the mystery will reveal itself. That I know for sure. As for you, just have faith.
Is the signal you're doing? You provided Lorechka with the emitters. Could you have supplied Faust as well?
Lorochka needed the emitters. Faust needed the emitters. The professor is a good man, and good men usually help each other, even when it comes to essential supplies. Sometimes they might not even be aware of it.
You stopped Stalin from replicating the Caribbean experiment. Why?
Feeling homesick, Skiff? You shouldn't be. If Dallin had gone ahead with it, the entire zone would have become Cold Island, and you wouldn't be the only one left homeless. My only regret is that we acted too late. Much like you and Strider now.
What's the plan, Scar? What's our next move?
The plan is as simple as it gets. The Ward intends to destroy the zone, along with you and me, of course. But we're going to stop them. How? Easy enough. We're going to strike back. Starting with the Dugas for now.
What do you want me to do?
First, head over to our tech, Power Plug. He'll hand you the control emitter and give you the 101 on how to use it and where it goes.
Oh, and Power Plug's got a little present for you, too. It's time to stop hiding, Skiff. Let the zone know you're one of us now.
Ah, there you are.
Scar told me to grab some scrap here.
Scrap you can grab. As for the control emitter, I'm handing it over as I was told. So it probably makes no difference to grunts like you. Don't mess with it. We've had a few accidents already. Now those accidents are either drooling in a corner or doing a little dance under the controller's spell.
What are all these preparations for?
We're planning a big surprise for the ward at the Dugas. But in order for our mousetrap to work, we have to wind it up first. And that's where the control emitter comes in.
What do I need to do with the emitter?
There's an abandoned complex beneath the Brumming factory. Inside you'll find the device the emitter is meant to be used with. Your job is to hook the emitter up to the device. Then get the heck out of there. Comms might get wonky, but we'll know when the job's done, rest assured.
Scar told me to grab some scrap here.
Scrap you can grab. As for the control emitter, I'm handing it over as I was told. So it probably makes no difference to grunts like you. Don't mess with it. We've had a few accidents already. Now those accidents are either drooling in a corner or doing a little...
What do I need to do with...
There's an abandoned... Your job is...
Ah, there you are. Ready for the show?
Depends. What's the plan this time?
You'll love it. We're killing two birds with one stone. The monolithians are all yours.
And what about the ward?
They're not your concern. I've got a little surprise cooked up for them. Just focus on the task at hand. While everyone's busy dealing with the mess at the checkpoint, you'll take over the underground comm center, then eliminate the leader of the monolith. I've thought it all through. This way, you'll come at them from their blind side. Any questions? Now,
Look at us! We're having a blast! As long as Faust is surrounded by phantoms, we can't get to him. And the fact that he has a small army and the most powerful brain scorcher in the zone is not making it easier.
Oh yeah. You guys sure know how to throw a party.
We didn't plan this when we turned on the Lesser Dugas, but we can't let Faust turn the zone into zombie land. The zone bows to no one. This is gonna be a real mess. The Monolithians aren't creative, but they're stubborn as hell. I can't wait to get rolling. But if you need time to gear up, this is your last chance. If you're ready, I'll brief you on the plan, and off we go.
I was born ready. I live for this stuff.
Let's get down to business. You see the Dugas? We can't storm it head on. Faust and that sea radiation will fry our brains before we even get close. But we haven't been sitting around, and we've got blueprints from the underground utilities. Turns out, there's a sewer line running from the firehouse straight to the Dugas. It's a quiet way in, and the patrols won't see us. You gotta get to the transformer room and shut down the Dugas. Once you're done, we'll take care of the Monolithians while you take on Faust. Any questions?
I'll shut down the Dugas, and I'll deal with Faust.
Attaboy! Now get into the tunnel before new Monolithian patrols show up. The signal is patchy down below, so make sure to get to the radio room. That's our first communication point. That's the gist of it. We'll figure out the rest as we go. March, Mugwort, China. Get to your squads and take positions. Let's roll. So what's the holdup?
House doesn't have it. What if...
Are you even tuning in?
Honestly, not really. Whether we dig in or not, everything's going to change very soon. Do you get it? Oh, you will.
Why the fuck did I have to join up?
Skiff! At last! Did you find it?
Possibly. What is it?
It's the key to something incredibly important. Something that's going to change us all. And it's all thanks to you and me. Come, the time of miracles is nigh.
All right.
Place the key on the controls of... Come on! Use the...
Greetings, Skiff. I know you have a lot of questions for me. Ask them, and then we'll decide what to do with you.
Who are you? Or what are you?
We are sea consciousness. We were once 7 scientists, 7 distinct personalities. Now, we exist as one mind. By merging our consciousnesses, we've achieved a direct connection with the noosphere. I am the representative of sea consciousness.
What are you trying to achieve?
After the reckless intervention by S.T.A.L.K.E.R, the structure of the noosphere was damaged, isolating individual subtle matter images from one another. The Shining will reinstate the right to immortality for all sentient beings in the zone, and eventually, for all of mankind. From then on, our liberated consciousnesses will gain the ability to communicate directly with one another, facilitating the free exchange of knowledge and experience. It will be the dawn of a new age.
So this is what the Shining Zone really is. I knew it in my heart. I believed in it all along. Seek and ye shall find.
The Shining can rid us of the darkness that's holding us back, preventing us from hearing each other. It will grant us eternal life. No pain, no regret, no suffering.
How can we make this new age come sooner?
Scar, the word is at the gates. It's just a matter of time before they break through.
But of course. Fuck! Take care of them, and fast!
Remember, I don't work for you.
You're working with me. Over and out. Skiff, I need you to help distract the ward while I get the professor out. I'll meet you outside. I can't get the professor out of here while you're still hanging around. You have to distract the ward. Skiff, there's no denying I was right now, is there? What we witnessed was truly a miracle.
Sure.
That's because we were... Doesn't matter. The problem is, we don't know where it is or how to get there. It's time to go legend hunting.
So?
You should be... He's a legend in his own right. He must...
Okay,
I have no idea. I have a feeling you could use one.
And so you've solved yet another mystery of the zone, Stalker. Perhaps the most unsettling one. Dr. Kaymanov. Pleased to meet you.
The scientists you mentioned. See consciousness. They're still alive.
No. That can't be. Strelok dealt with them back in 2012.
I spoke to the representative through the visiograph in Malachite. They still exist in some kind of form he called subtle matter.
Subtle matter? But that's impossible! That means it's still going on.
What do you know about subtle matter?
It was a theory developed by Valentin Darlin, the leader of sea consciousness. Apparently, he's now become the image of the representative. Back in the day, he ridiculed my calculations regarding the existence of the noosphere, while I firmly believed that subtle matter was unscientific. In the end, I turned out to be right. But if he was also close to the truth, that changes everything. According to his theory, subtle matter can preserve a reflection of a person's mind, their personality. If you're implying the representative is real, that means they actually succeeded.
Before me, Strelok was the only one who'd spoken to the representative. That was back in 2012, before Sea Consciousness died. Strelok managed to reach the center of the zone and return unscathed.
Then Strelok probably knows more about subtle matter than I do, along with the sea technologies that Sea Consciousness has mastered during their 6 years of frenetic activity. Chances are he's still researching it to this day.
I want to find out if subtle matter is real. Things like this shouldn't be left to blind faith.
The scientific method isn't just about the experiment. It's about being able to replicate it. And I happen to know how to test a few of my hunches. If only Valentin could see me now. Well, perhaps he can. We tried to connect to the noosphere as an experiment in the Orbita underground lab. Back then, I saw nothing like the afterlife. But now, with the zone, I think the truth is worth taking a risk. But first, you need to get the cartridge from the signature station in a different lab. X3, near the cordon. It's been 20 years, so the entrances I knew of are long destroyed, but stalkers always find a way. Talk to Sidorovich, he's in charge of the cordon, and could have heard some stories about X3. I'll send you the code to the cartridge slot. Take it and head to Orbita. Good luck.
I'm not looking to make friends. Skiff.
Skiff? You got some, curious friends here.
Why are you here, Skiff? Dog had no choice. Unlike you. Who you working for? If you lie, I'll know it.
What about Dark? What did you do to him?
I didn't do anything. It was the TVs. They're neurovisual programmers. Those previously affected by them can't survive another exposure.
What do you mean, Dark had no choice?
He's a sea consciousness agent. Killing me was just a program planted in his head. Those who made it to the center of the zone got the short end of the stick. Their prize was either to join Monolith and protect sea consciousness, or become agents and do their bit. The Stalker program. That's what sea consciousness called it.
I'm with Spark. They know what's really going on in the zone. Maybe they can help me find a new place to call home, too.
You're like a moth drawn to a flame, ready to get burnt to ashes. Scar's trained to follow orders. Clear skies to call the shots. That's when he almost got me. But who's he answering to now? I don't think you bothered to ask.
At least with Scar, I know what he stands for. But you? I have no idea what you want.
I want the zone to be left alone. All that common good Scar and Kroshunov talk about is just a smokescreen. What they really want is to control the zone. Each in his own way. No. The zone doesn't owe anyone a thing. Realizing this made me an enemy to both the Ward and Spark. And how exactly did you find out about X3?
So the Mercs are your friends, then? You're playing dirty. You put a hit on Dark. Maybe others, too.
When you're fighting against everyone, you use what you've got. They were my backup plan. Since you're here, it failed. The zone is no stranger to death.
The doctor told me about X3. It seems like the two of you have some history. He sent me here to test a theory.
Kaymanov? Yeah. He helped me get to the center of the zone to take down sea consciousness. Now he's using other people to fix his own mistakes. How convenient. He used to be part of sea consciousness. He would have gotten into one of those pods himself if he hadn't escaped at the last minute. What kind of nonsense did he feed you? Something about the old experiments of the dearly departed and the data that might still be here?
I talked to the representative of Sea Consciousness, the Malachite.
They're dead. I killed them. All of them. I even kept a piece of glass from one of their pods. It was real. What you witnessed was an induced illusion. A Psi radiation technology Sea Consciousness used to manipulate people.
Induced illusion? Like Faust's phantoms?
Like the Phantoms, the Wish Granter, the Visiographs, the Scorcher, or the Shining Zone. Do you want a peek? It's right here. You can grab the data the doctor wants along the way.
Just be sure to shut it down on your way out. I want the zone to be left alone. All that common good, S.T.A.L.K.E.R and Kroshunov. No. Now, what kind of
Have you ever heard of the subtle matter theory? Kaymanov wants to test it.
Immortality in the noosphere. The sea consciousness side, it's real. And so are the bullets. Subtle matter.
Induced.
When I found this place, I realized the zone can be true to herself as long as someone keeps trying to use her to fucking brainwash us. Whether through TVs like these, or the S.T.A.L.K.E.R program before them. I just wish I knew who that someone is right now.
So the Shining Zone is a lie?
I saw it when I took down sea consciousness. It seemed better. So bright, so real. Or so I believed. I spent years wandering this zone in search of its shining counterpart. I suppose that's when S.T.A.L.K.E.R caught wind of it. But my shining zone turned out to be... well, you saw what it was. Just another illusion. Another lie. And the one he's looking for, it never existed in the first place.
So, what's your next move then?
Keep searching. Right now, I've got to find a way into the S.T.A.L.K.E.R program control center. The neuroprogrammers in X3 should be connected to it. I just need to figure out how.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Not now. I got this covered. Just focus on what you need to do. But keep in mind that the Ward and Spark are my enemies. If they end up being yours too, we'll get along just fine.
Not everyone can handle what you're proposing.
This is the only way to the truth I can offer you. I'll get in touch when I figure out if you're worth it. Not if, but when. And remember, either you're against everyone now, or I'm against you. The choice is yours. That's the price of my candor.
I'll take care of the rest. I've tracked the antenna signals. All good. Just a little more to go. In X15, there's an experimental unit. You need to place the cartridge in the control room. And Then, get into the capsule. I'll take care of the connection. Are you ready?
To enter the pod? But why?
To see the truth. Don't worry about the capsule. Unlike the sea consciousness ones, it was designed for one use.
Skiff. What's going on? Where are we?
You're dead, Strider.
Then, I'm no more. But the experiment. Tell me we made it in time.
We were too late.
What happened to my men?
They're under control of the monolith. I'm sorry, Strider.
May 2012. The military is storming the CNPP. Loon and SWAT teams are in my sector. The primary objective is Quartet.
Southeast 180. Landmark. Inspection Tower.
Target, Sova 345. Low lateral.
Target, Quartet 400. Moderate lateral.
Windage. Breathing. 3, 2, 1. That was the day sea fields were turned off. Suddenly, the voice of the monolith was gone. I felt as if I was awakening from a years-long coma. And through the scope, I saw the body of an unknown soldier fall. He was not my enemy, Skiff. I just hope he has survived and has forgiven us. You asked me about my good luck charm. Remember? It's an empty cartridge casing. A reminder from that day. I genuinely believed that I would never be a puppet again. I'm sorry, brothers. We have failed. Forgive me. And forgive me for everything you must do now. It was a worthy try, Skiff. Thank you. Stay strong.
This rocket ain't gonna take you into the noosphere. Open up.
Well, what a meeting. A good man in a tight spot. You don't give up easy, huh? Well, keep sniffing around.
Is it just me, or were you talking to somebody?
Yeah, Strider.
Strider? How'd you get here? Strider! Strider! Have you boys seen Strider around here? Strider! Strider! Turns out there is life in the noosphere. Can you believe it?
I guess so. It's hard to digest at first.
But this time it's all different, right? Let me guess. It wasn't the most pleasant conversation in your life?
Strider deserved a better fate.
We all deserve better, Skiff. The Shining. We will get rid of the darkness that imprisons us, preventing us from hearing each other. Imagine an eternal spring, Skiff. No pain, no regret, no suffering.
I know, Scar. I just wanted to make sure.
Wonderful. I hope you didn't waste your time and that you figured out something interesting. So now it's time to share.
Don't push it, Scar. I need some time to digest all this.
Fine. All time is ours now. At least while it still means something. Let's talk. I'm here to help you with your digestion. Care to tell me how you ended up on Orbita?
I found the doctor. He said I might find some answers here.
And those answers have finally steered you towards the right path. Better late than never, right? It's a shame. It took all of those gizmos to sway you. Fate is about believing in spite of something, not because of it. Now we can go back to our search for a visiograph. There's bound to be another one out there in the zone, which means we still need Strelok.
What did you see while I was in that pod, Scar? Did you hear Strider?
I don't need to see to believe. Now you believe too. That's all that matters.
What can you tell me about Strelok?
Just about anyone in the zone can tell you more about him than I can. I combed half the zone looking for him once. That's all I have to say.
I found Strelok. He thinks that all Psi devices are controlled by the S.T.A.L.K.E.R program. If that's true, there could be another visiograph at the program control center.
Get him to spill everything he knows. He'll help us re-establish contact with the representative. Strelok himself doesn't need to know that, of course. Remember, Skiff, everything hinges on how you handle your relationship with the Ward. You've seen the truth. Are you ready to embrace it? Get all the info you can out of Strelok. That's our priority right now.
You're trespassing. Leave the facility immediately.
What kind of facility is this?
This is your final warning, Stalker. Get out of here.
Calm down. I've got a pass.
Come on in.
Show me your pass.
Here.
All good. What's the purpose of your visit?
I want to know more about Project Fiber.
I see. Just a moment.
So, what do you see?
Screens. A whole wall of them. All static. And a creepy chair.
Right. Have a seat.
I think I'd rather stand.
Don't worry, it won't bite.
I hate dentists.
Are you set?
Yep.
Push the button.
Can you see me? Yeah. Look looking good.
Apparently Dark One's a 2020 mission.
What?
That's his eyes you're looking through. Wave to the man, Dark One.
Hello, Skiff. It's Dark One. Remember how I tried to kill Strelok? I changed my mind.
Holy shit. How was this possible?
Well, sea consciousness used to have very advanced technology. Now we need to figure out what the war wants to do with it. Anyway, it's time to wrap this up. Won't be long before the sniffs you out.
I've got an idea. Talk to you later. I've managed to track down the signal down to the Pripyat catacombs. The S.T.A.L.K.E.R program center must be somewhere there. We need to find and destroy it. It's S.T.A.L.K.E.R's territory. I guess it's time for you to meet.
Find out who he contacted. What's wrong with you, soldier? You're a constant thorn in my side. S.T.A.L.K.E.R got mixed up with S.P.A.R.K.
I eliminated Faust.
And that I'm grateful. Sit down.
What is this installation, Colonel?
Look, I'd love to gather all you stalkers around the campfire and explain exactly what we're guarding and why. But I have no desire whatsoever to trip over your soiled mattresses while on patrol. I've been ordered to keep the aftermath of Project X a secret from the likes of you. It's too bad you trusted those dreamers. You've got a knack for it, you know? Taking people at their word. Who was it?
The Dark One and Strelok.
You trusted Strelok? An agent of sea consciousness?
Strelok is an agent?
The Dark One, S.T.A.L.K.E.R, Strelok. Sea consciousness bred them like cockroaches. This installation will help us find every last agent, but only within the perimeter. Unfortunately, many of them have already left the zone, and if we do nothing, houses on the mainland will continue to burn and collapse. This is reality! Miracles and fantasies are for those who can't face up to the real world.
I'm on your side, Colonel.
Bold move.
Skiff, you're awake. Finally. We need to talk. We don't have much time. Are you all right? The Colonel's completely lost it. He's been difficult before, but now he's gone off the rails completely. Tossing you in here after all you did for the ward.
Where am I? Is this the chemical plant?
Yes, the isolation unit. The Colonel keeps prisoners here.
Where is all my stuff?
I don't know. Sorry. They must have taken it when they searched you.
He had his reasons to throw me in here. I found out about some things. And I can't keep working with the ward knowing them.
Oh. What did you find out? Have you learned anything new about subtle matter?
Yes. Everything the representative said is true. Subtle matter the Shining Zone, immortality within the Noosphere. It's all real.
How can I be sure of what you're saying? Do you have any proof?
If my words aren't enough to convince you, you can reach out to S.T.A.L.K.E.R. He figured it out long before I did.
But that's impossible. Unthinkable. And yet, you know, when I was a kid, my father once told me, for a true scientist, impossible simply means unexplored. Whenever I faced a problem I couldn't solve, he'd say, dig deeper, Dallin. I've tried to live by that rule my whole life. And that's why I want to thank you. You didn't settle for superficial answers. You dug deeper. Thank you for that, Skiff. Also, thanks for rescuing me at X-11. I haven't forgotten it. I'll give you the key to the cell. You need to get out of here. The sooner, the better.
I appreciate your help. Like me, you got mixed up with the wrong crowd. But it's never too late to change things.
I'll think about it. I promise. Just don't get caught. Or it will end badly for both of us. Get out once I'm at a safe distance. But stay quiet. There are patrols everywhere. Be careful. And Skiff, if our paths ever cross again, remember, I'm on your side.
I figured your ugly mug would make an appearance here sooner or later. Another one of S.T.A.L.K.E.R's miracles, I suppose.
You know what it means to make a choice.
Ugh, holy shit. You even sound like him now.
It's not about picking between right and wrong or yourself and other people. It's about choosing whether to believe or not.
Believe in what?
The Zone. Something greater than yourself. That's why the Ward and Strelok are both going to lose. They don't have faith in themselves, let alone the Zone. And you're the same way.
Why are you here?
I'm looking for Spirit. I need to get to Pripyat.
What does S.T.A.L.K.E.R want in Pripyat? It's sunny there, sure, but I doubt it's shiny enough for him.
Pripyat holds the key to the Shining Zone. See? I'm not holding anything back.
Just because you believe in it doesn't make it real. You know how many years I trusted S.T.A.L.K.E.R?
If you don't trust him, trust me. I saw them. The representative, Strider, they're alive in the Shining Zone. S.T.A.L.K.E.R's methods may be misguided, but his goal is noble. Help me track down Spirit. I promise you, it's all true. It's all worth it.
I'm not even sure who you sound like. S.T.A.L.K.E.R or Faust? Who am I hearing?
You're hearing a man who believes in what he's doing. Just like you once did.
Maybe it really was a miracle that I stumbled across you in Zalicia back then. I used to regret saving you, but maybe the Zone really does work in mysterious ways. When Spirit and I went our separate ways, He was heading down the tunnel to Limansk. He's probably still out there, looking for a way into the town. You two share something. Both searching for a home. Both refusing to give up no matter what. What's ever waiting for you in Pripyat? Thank you for not giving up on your faith.
Those mutants are tricky, eh? One distracts you, while another one flanks you out. Almost like humans. It's about to be one less human in the equation. So, whatever, I guess. Whatever S.T.A.L.K.E.R's men are looking for. Around here, I don't have it. Fuck off, and let me die in peace.
How do you know who I am?
I don't have a fucking clue, but I can sure as hell see who you've been hanging out with. It's all in your eyes.
I need to get to Pripyat. I know you've been taking stalkers around Yaniv.
You think I was doing it for money? Hell, I barely covered my expenses. Chernobyl is an idiot. You can't take away someone's dream, you know? It's like the seaside you never visited. Always sunny, always peaceful. Or at least it used to be. Until the monolith showed up. I have no idea why S.T.A.L.K.E.R needs to get to Pripyat. But my secrets will die with me.
No one dies for real here. S.T.A.L.K.E.R proved it.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R, huh? Do you know what happened at the chemical plant when the wards showed up? They attacked us out of the blue.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R made it too.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R was never there. He was never part of Topol's original spark. And if he lied about that, just imagine what else he might be lying about.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R doesn't lie. He skirts the truth, he leaves things out, but he never lies outright.
I've got even less reason to lie to you.
Why do you scientists always have to make things so complicated? Faith is about believing in spite of something, Mr. Ozetsky, not because of it. Otherwise, what's the point? I need to know for sure. All right? If you prefer knowing to believing, see for yourself. Well, I didn't expect to see a familiar face here. How's it going? Double? Is that really you? I want to make sure. Tell me this. During our time in the bunker, someone saved you and your crew from the controller. I'll never forget something like that. It was Dictario. You really are still alive. As you can see, Professor, fate is always rewarded. Are you ready to take action?
But there's no unknown, only the Shining Zone. Immortality within the noosphere.
Is that Topol? But how?
I told you, Spirit, S.T.A.L.K.E.R doesn't lie. In the zone, death is not the end. We just leave all the darkness behind.
I can apologize to him. The bunker, it doesn't create anomalies. It disables them. Get it? Thank you. Thank you for showing this to me. I'm not afraid.
See you in the Shining Zone, my friend.
Nor briefed me about you. Impressive. I appreciate your help with these fanatics too. Don't beat around the bush, Skiff. Every minute I'm here means one less dead monolithic. What did...
I'm looking...
Don't expect I'm aware of...
Is that a threat?
Yes. Your involvement might have saved a couple of my men, so you're permitted to stay in my town and camp for now. However, if you keep digging around, I'll treat you just like any monolithian. I've said my piece.
There's Scar. There's Scar.
Deggy doesn't want to cooperate.
Looks like we're up next, then.
He's like the blind dog in the manger. He won't eat the hay himself, and he won't let anyone else have it either.
There has to be another way. It's what the zone is all about.
So, what's the plan now?
I've got 3 leads.
I already checked one. It's a dead end. Not to mention I narrowly escaped getting killed there.
And yet, your efforts were helpful to Skiff. Everything happens for a reason, you see. Now, we are left with 2 options, the Prometheus and the Laundromat.
I'm ready to go.
The city is a death trap. Wherever you turn, you're gonna have to fight your way out.
The hardest part is just before you win, isn't it?
You ain't getting it, Skiff. I'm dead serious. Pripyat was never a walk in the park, but now...
I'm not like your old group, Richter. I won't end up lost. Trust me. Trust the zone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's get going. Keep me posted, all right? Did you have a nice trip?
You gotta have more faith in me, Scar. Here, I found it.
See that guide? The zone is on our side. Let's see what we've got. Looks like this entire underground area is an old military facility called the Foundation. And there's more than one entrance. The Polisa Hotel and the Olympia Cafe. I reckon we shouldn't leave either one to our dear friends from the ward. Which means we're gonna have to split up. You can have first dibs, Skiff.
I'm going through the Olympia.
I'll send my men to meet you there. Richter and I will take the second entrance. There's no way Kroshunov can stop us this time.
I've got it. Ready to move?
Let's do this. And brace yourself. The zone has the ultimate challenge in store for us. If you've got any unfinished business, you should probably wrap it up before we start down this path.
You made it, Skiff. Come on, let's move. Did you hear Dallin? They want to destroy the zone. We can't let that happen.
What about Scar?
He's taking another way. We'll be okay on our own. Hurry up.
Why the hell are you stalling? You just need to disconnect. One stupid device and connect another in its place. It's no more difficult than changing batteries.
Don't push me, Colonel. This equipment hasn't been maintained in a long time. We need to be extremely careful. Otherwise...
Colin, don't act up. This ragtag bunch can't get to the generators on foot. So what was the point of opening up X-11? Just do this, and soon the name Dmitro will echo round the world. We need someone we can all trust to get the fucking hoops spinning. And we both know that representative isn't an option.
But my father...
Your father's dead! He's gone! I saw them boiling in those pods with my own eyes. The goddamn physiograph is just a fucking talking TV man.
It's hard to believe, but subtle matter is real, Colonel. I know it.
You're not a scientist. You're just a lousy piece of shit.
Oh, yeah? Fuck you!
You got it? Here.
Of an experiment ended creating a super consciousness called C-consciousness.
Father.
According to our calculations, Earth is surrounded by a special informational field, the so-called noosphere. It links all sentient inhabitants of the planet and stores their mental images.
What's the true scientist rule?
Our main goal was to make small adjustments to the noosphere, allowing us to remove things like anger, cruelty, greed, and other negative factors from the planet.
Dad, like you said, what's the true rule of a scientist?
Individuals are unable to affect the noosphere.
Be quiet.
But C-consciousness could.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up! It must be erased, destroyed, eradicated. I want it wiped out forever, without a trace, without pity! Skip!
Dig deeper, darling. Dig deeper, son.
It's all real. It's always been real. The miracles of the zone. Subtle matter. Eternal life within the noosphere. And I nearly destroyed it. Almost deprived humanity of its chance at immortality. I could have killed my own father.
But in the end, you didn't do any of that. You saw the truth just in the nick of time. And you made the right choice.
Yes. That much is true. But I came dangerously close to making the wrong one. I really meant well. I believed that I could make the future a little better. But Agatha's plan was never about the good of humanity, was it? All she wanted was total control. And if it wasn't for you, she would have achieved it. I don't know if I would have found the courage to get to the truth if you hadn't opened my eyes to it. Thank you. For everything.
What do you intend to do now?
I'm going to talk to my father, for starters. For far too long, I was convinced this would never happen again. I've got a lot of questions. And a lot to apologize for. I just need to enhance the connection. The link is still unstable. I don't want to lose him again before I'm done. And after that, well, I suppose it depends on you. You and S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Seems I was almost late. What the hell were you and the Ward trying to do here?
I was about to do something right for once in my life. And I would have died for it, if it weren't for you. And they were planning to replace the representative. Once they reconnected with the generators, they could use the X network and all that C-consciousness had created. They wanted to erase my father. By my hand. I don't know if Colonel found that small detail funny.
You made the Shining possible. You've played your part. Now S.T.A.L.K.E.R and I need to finish what your father set in motion.
It's still very dangerous out there. However, if you succeed, if it all goes according to plan, all these deaths, the Wardens, Spark, Noontide, ordinary stalkers, they'll all be undone. Humanity will finally attain the life it deserves. A life without pain, without death, without hate. It's a risk worth taking.
Maybe, after the Shining, great experiments will finally be performed without casualties.
Sounds like a promising future. Best of luck to you. See you in the new reality. Best of luck, Skiff.
I was afraid I wouldn't make it in time.
Greetings, Skiff. The last time you conversed with a representative of Sea Consciousness, it was comprised of all its members. Thanks to your assistance, I can finally speak for myself. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Valentine Darling, the leader of the team responsible for making contact with the Noosphere. In 2006, I refused to follow the regulatory board's orders and became one of those who created the zone by mistake. I'm sure you've accumulated quite a few questions since our last encounter.
I've heard about induced illusions being part of the S.T.A.L.K.E.R program. I wasn't completely sure if subtle matter was real or if you were just a holographic projection.
The S.T.A.L.K.E.R program does indeed exist, but its function differs from what you might imagine. It doesn't generate illusions, but rather enables the exchange of data with the Noosphere. This is what made our communication possible.
So at some point, you decided to go against the regulatory board. Why?
The regulatory board, a group of influential people behind Project X, wanted to use our work to gain control over the Noosphere with the help of a generators network all over the planet. But they wanted it only for themselves. We couldn't let that happen. As long as there is darkness in humanity, there will be people like them. Our original plan was to remove this darkness. That's how Sea Consciousness came into being. During the experiment, there was a breakdown, and the Noosphere energy rushed to the Earth, creating an anomalous zone. Thanks to it, we got new opportunities and developed the Shining Project.
We've come so far, but I still don't understand how you've been carrying out your plan all this time.
In the disaster of 2006, Sea Consciousness took control of the X network and anomalous energy. Later, we created the Monolith and the agents. But there were those who helped us from the beginning.
How did you get mixed up in all this anyway, Scar?
The Spark Science Task Group has always worked for the scientists. They studied the zone, while I believed in its mysterious destiny. Once I heard the Shining Zone legend, I started looking for its manifestations even in the most remote and dangerous places. And found Orbita. Talked to Topol, who's dead. Just like you talked to Strider. Later, Ozerski and I did everything we could to restore the X-17 visiograph and find out whether it's possible that the Sea Consciousness scientists survived. As you can see, I was right all along. Now you're on our side. The Zone's providence has always shown us the right path.
And who's been helping you all this time?
We weren't the only ones who went up against the regulatory board. After Project X was frozen, some of our former employees decided to continue research under our guidance. They called themselves MDST. When Strelok shot our bodies and destroyed one of the X network's central nodes, we continued to exist in the Noosphere, but lost our connection to the zone and the ability to interfere. The Monolith program, X network and related laboratories whose functioning was ensured by C consciousness stopped for 10 years. Only the agent's programming survived.
Until you brought Alpha to S.T.A.L.K.E.R. And until I ignorantly reactivated the system from the X-11 lab. But it turned out that we were fortunate.
Kroshunov told me about your agents. He claimed they pose a threat to the mainland. What's their true purpose?
Everything we created has served one purpose. The successful realization of the Shining in the future. The creation of agents has been fully justified. Thanks to them, you're on our side. Unfortunately, after Strelok deactivated the Basi installation, we lost contact with the zone for a while, so we had no control over the agents who decided to leave the zone. Don't think they haven't been rewarded for their efforts. We've given them a reason to live, Skiff. A higher purpose.
What about Strelok?
There was a glitch in the programming. Strelok went against his program. With the help of Dr. Kaymanov, who betrayed us once, he managed to get to the Monolith control unit. We invited him to join us in the 8th pod. A mistake that might otherwise have cost us our lives. Because he chose to destroy us instead.
Not a mistake. The Zone's providence. You never died. You became pioneers of the truth. Guides to eternity.
That's all I wanted to know.
Do you have any more questions? Or are you ready to proceed with the Shining plan?
What do I need to do to make sure the Shining becomes a reality?
First, we need to restore the connection between the center and the generators. It can only be done manually at the generators, so you'll have to make your way there through the Dead Valley. I'll do my best to teleport you as close as possible, but the teleportation system is currently unstable, so you'll need an experimental Project X suit. I'll give you the coordinates. Once the connection is restored, we'll need another piece of the puzzle. A mediator, a human being, who will act as an intermediary between the Zone and the Noosphere.
To restore communication between the center and the generators, I'll have to cross Dead Valley. How do I do that?
Now that the navigator is operational, the emissions in the Dead Valley are becoming more frequent. The entire zone is in flux. New anomalies are emerging everywhere, and secure routes are vanishing. Only the Shining has the power to reverse this process. But fear not. The valley is only truly dangerous for the Ward and those who seek to destroy the zone. Not for you. Walk without fear, and you'll reach your destination. And be the first to witness real miracles.
Who's gonna become the mediator between the Zone and the Noosphere?
Bringing the Shining to life would be impossible without you, Skiff. However, the role of the mediator requires someone with Class 5 Basi protection. A single person wouldn't have sufficed in the past, but now, with C consciousness manifested as subtle matter, we can enhance the connection from the other side. Scar's mind exhibits an exceptional resistance to emissions. That's why the responsibility of resurrecting us falls on his shoulders. One might say, he was born for it.
I've always known.
We are on the verge of achieving our goal, and thanks to you, we can now attain it. Now please, leave. I'd like to speak to my son.
Hi, Dad.
You've always sought comprehensive answers to your questions, Skiff. You have them all now. I'm glad. I wonder if I could have pursued the truth as you did. Against all odds. If I hadn't known it from the start. To come this far without faith must have been an incredibly lonely journey for those who gained their faith at a great cost. The reward must be even greater. I'll stick around and make sure the doctor and the representative aren't disturbed.
More than anything, Richter wanted the Zone's forgiveness. When he never got it. What's his reward?
Once more, you refuse to accept anything you haven't witnessed firsthand. How could you be certain the Zone hasn't granted him forgiveness? Perhaps death was his ultimate redemption.
Thank you for revealing the Shining Zone to me.
Everyone else will witness it before too long. Go. And don't wander off the path. Go ahead, Skiff.
Richter.
Looks like I really am your guardian angel. Don't worry, Skip. We're in the Dead Valley, but we're still alive. Just don't give up, alright? Have faith. It's like the weather is getting worse. You should go. Get down there. I'll be waiting for you further ahead. Well, that's it. I took you here, as promised. I did it.
Thanks, Richter.
You've taught me what it means to believe. And look, I'm a true guide now, just like you promised. The Zone is so beautiful, Skiff. Now that I can see it for real, it's just breathtaking. Do what you gotta do, Skip. Once upon a time, I aspired to become a true guide. Now, thanks to you, I am one.
Scar.
Poor Scar. I knew him, Skip. A fellow of infinite jest, a most excellent fancy. And now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Oh. Where be your jibes now? Your gambles? Your verses? Prithee, Skiff, tell me one thing. Do you think the representative looked of this fashion in the earth?
I guess.
And smelt so, ha? What a miserable end, Skiff. The representative dies. The representative is buried. The representative turns to dust. The dust to soil, the soil to clay. And who's to say that clay won't end up a stopper for a rusty rain barrel? Just to think, once he determined the destinies of all these stalkers. So this is why, in our own dreams, sometimes we see their memories. But the representative is alive. Only our enemies claim there is no life after death. If that's the case, then there is no shining zone. Tagan, 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 ding, ding! If there is no shining zone, then all these lives were wasted in vain, Skiff. It's not true. Come on, kids! The shining zone ain't gonna find itself! Poor Stalker. Lost his arm, lost his head for this cause. Along with everything in it. You see, Skiff, history is spiraling. Many years ago, Sea Consciousness ran their very first experiment and created the zone right here in this lab. And here we are, about to conclude our last experiment, so the zone can be reborn and become what it was always supposed to be. Then again, the zone was never part of the initial plan. You and I, Skiff, are manifesting the ultimate eventuality. The most important things never go as planned. It is luck that creates them. Or the other way around. It is pure eventuality that we're here now. I'm here because I can mediate. You, because of all the places the zone could reveal itself, it chose your home.
A new world lies before us. Can't you see I'm busy? You know, Skiff, I just had a funny idea. What if I changed my mind about entering the 8th pod? What if everything I've believed in, everything I've worked for, wasn't truly mine? What if it all belonged to someone else?
What you believe in doesn't matter anymore, Scar. You made me believe. For real. And that means you're gonna step into that pod, no matter what happens next. Because in the Shining Zone, everything will be just as it's meant to be. That's what I believe.
Then, so be it. Thank you. I needed to hear that. Now, we need to get past that blast door. Let's go.
Can't you see? Such a small piece of lead. Yet what a hindrance it is on the journey to immortality for all mankind. And the elevator to X7 is out of commission too. You'll need to go restart it. Just make sure you don't catch a bullet from granite like I did. Where did they come from after all these years? Did the signal wake them up too?
Anything I can do about your injury? Do you need a medkit?
Don't worry. I've got it under control. I'll live to see the Shining Zone.
Granite? Who's that?
A hello from the past. Courtesy of the Colonel. He was in charge of a special unit called Granite Squad. They used to guard X7 before the Zone even existed. When Sea Consciousness's plans went sideways because of Kaymanov's meddling, they turned Granite into the first Monolithians. Kroshunov was the sole survivor. Watch out for them when you reboot the elevator. I'd help you if I weren't woefully ineffective in combat at the moment.
All right, Skiff. It's time for a miracle. That's it. Stairway to heaven. Flip that switch. Very nice. My entrance ticket. Come on. Looking for Okta. Okta. Oh, there. Service exposed. Ah, I got it. Thank you. I'm going to go there. You're going to stay here. On my command, push that thing up. Don't let me down. Yeah. Ready? Go!
Richter, is this all real?
Reality is whatever you think is real.
Oh, God! He plays so well!
Finally, a superstar.
I still can hear, can see, and feel. Am I really here?
Well, who's talking then?
Many stalkers owe you their life.
Thank you.
Come on, man! Spill it! Who the fuck are you?
The first ride on the Ferris wheel.
And me, Scar. Don't worry, this time you won't have to...
Just a guide. I was only showing the way, right?
Hold on. It's ours now.
Father.
Poor Scar. We're all to stand upon the sea. Through death, through darkness thus. I choose the nets that swallow me. This mortal coil failed us.